Ever feel like you're doing everything right in goal, but the results still aren't coming, the saves aren't there, and your confidence swings up and down like a roller coaster? Well, there's a reason for that, and it has nothing to do with talent. In this video, I'm breaking down the final 5 sacred rules of goalkeeping, the stuff no one tells you, but every serious goalkeeper needs to hear. And be honest, there are days where you feel like an absolute beast in goal. You're sharp, focused, every rep feels so smooth. You leave the session buzzing like this is where you belong. And then, the next day you're dragging your feet, can't be bothered to warm up properly, you feel flat, slow, and you're just not into it. So what do? You tell yourself, I'm just not feeling it today, and then you take it easy, or you skip training altogether. But here's the thing, that feeling you're chasing, that motivation, that fire, that perfect mindset, it comes and goes. You can't really control it, and if you're only training when you're motivated, you'll never be consistent, and you'll never become the goalkeeper that you actually could be. So guys, sacred rule number 5, thou shalt not rely on motivation. Alright, so you stopped relying on motivation, right? You're showing up, you're doing the work, even when it's feeling a bit hard. But there's another test. What are you telling yourself while you're doing it? Because that voice in your head, it might actually be the thing that's holding you back the most. Let's say you're warming up for a game, footwork drills, catches, easy volleys, you're doing fine, but then your brain starts whispering, please don't mess up today like you did last game. Remember last session? It was so bad. And you're still trying to move, but you're feeling a bit hesitant, you're a bit nervous, and maybe a bit tense too. Yeah, I've been there many times. I used to think that confidence came before action, but it doesn't. Confidence doesn't just show up from nowhere. It's not a feeling you get before you start training hard or before you actually start playing well. It's what you earn after doing these things. The best goalkeepers don't always feel confident, but they always show up like they do, they train like they do, and that's how they built it. So guys, sacred rule number 4, thou shalt not wait until I feel confident, because if you're waiting to feel 100% confident before you go all in, you'll just wait forever. Now, if you're tired of training on your own and you're feeling like you're just guessing, I've built the ultimate self-training program for goalkeepers exactly like you. It gives you the drills, the structure and direction I wish I had years ago. Links in the description if you're ready to stop wasting time. Alright, so you're showing up even when you're not feeling confident, even when your mind's not playing nice. But let me ask you something. What about your body? Because it doesn't matter how focused you are if your legs feel like concrete. Let's talk about something most goalkeepers completely overlook. You ever hit the middle of the week feeling like your body's already done, heavy legs, height growing, no spring, no sharpness, but you still show up, still grinding through every session, because in your head, taking a break means you're falling behind. And yep, that used to be me. I was that keeper training like a beast, 6-7 days a week, full power, no excuses, all gas and no brakes. And honestly, looking back, I respect the drive, but boy, I was doing it so wrong. Because pushing through soreness, ignoring sleep, and just skipping recovery altogether, that's not elite. That's self-sabotage. Your body doesn't grow during training. It grows when you rest, sleep, mobility, hydration, active recovery. These things aren't just extras. They're not optional. They're a part of your training, whether you like it or not. So if you're always sore, always stiff, always tired, you're not weak. Chances are you're just under-recovered. And if you keep ignoring recovery, you'll keep stuck in the same circle as I was in. Overtrain, burn out, lose confidence, repeat. So guys, sacred rule number 3, thou shalt respect the power of recovery. Because training breaks your body down, but recovery, it builds it back stronger. Alright, so your body is recovering, you're sleeping better, your energy is back, but just because you're fresh doesn't mean that you're sharp. And this next rule, it separates keepers who look the part from the ones who actually performs when it counts. Let's break it down. You ever feel like you're doing all the right things, but you're still getting beat? You're reacting late, reaching instead of diving, always one step behind, and you blame your timing, your reaction, but most of the time, it's actually your feet. I've coached so many players who were strong, explosive, completely fearless in 1v1s, but they couldn't stay balanced when catching a shot, couldn't shift their weight, and couldn't recover after making their first save. I mean, they were all good goalkeepers, very talented, no doubt, but their footwork kept letting them down. Craziest part, footwork is one of the things that you don't need a coach for. You can train it in your backyard, on the streets, in a tiny space alone, but still, so many goalkeepers completely ignore it. They do saves, shot stopping all day long, but never sharpen the one thing that actually makes those saves possible. So if this sounds like you, if your movement is slow, if your set position always feels a bit too late, if you can't explode into dives on both sides, this is your wake-up call, so take it seriously, because sacred rule number 2, thou shalt not neglect thy footwork, because your hands can't save what your feet can't get to. Alright, congratulations, you made it so far. We talked about discipline, mindset, movement, recovery, but there's one final rule, and if you forget everything from this video, remember this one, because without it, none of the other rules actually stick. Alright, let me ask you something. Would you still train if no one ever noticed? Would you still grind if no coach ever praised you again? Would you still play if no one clapped from the sidelines? Strange questions, I know, but here's the truth. If you only do goalkeeping for the recognition, you'll quit when the moment gets hard. And trust me when I say, goalkeeping will be hard. You'll go through cold training sessions, long dry spells, some games where you even don't touch the ball, and other games where you get blamed for everything. And if you are the type who truly wants to get better, you'll have to train when no one's watching, improve when no one's cheering for you, and believe in yourself when no one else does. And the only thing that keeps you going, you have to love it. Not the praise, not the spotlight, but the process. The slow, sweaty, boring parts, the progress no one sees, that quiet satisfaction of knowing you're getting 1% better than you were yesterday. And that's what makes a real goalkeeper. So guys, sacred rule number 1, thou shalt love thy process. Now, if these sacred rules spoke to you, go and watch part 1 next. It covers the first 5 rules, the mindset, the discipline, the lessons most goalkeepers ignore. You'll find it right here on the screen or in the description below. See you soon.